Knicks family, what's poppin'? We here, we about to rock. Got a couple of good topics to talk about tonight. And by the way, I'm trying to push my sub count up to 5,000. If I can do this tonight, that'd be perfect. Might be kind of hard. I'm about 400 people, 400 subs away. But if you're new to the channel and you sub this video, or you just sub the channel, share the channel, make a comment, I'm gonna enter you in a drawing to win the Kevin Knox rookie card. Let's rock. Let's go. I see the chat is popping already. I'm with that. Looks good. Chat is popping. Hey, look, man, before we get started, you guys heard the announcement a little bit earlier as I started. I'm trying to push these subs up. I want to get to 5,000. I'd like to get to 5,000 before the night is over. It's possible. I don't think that's going to happen, but if not, that's cool. Let's get there before the end of next week. That's what I'm talking about. But a couple of announcements that I want to make. You know what I'm saying? And you're live with nothing but Knicks. If you're new here, you're live with nothing but Knicks. You know, a couple of announcements I want to make. I'm working on a couple of projects that I think you guys are going to enjoy, really enjoy. I've been getting some requests to do a New York Giants channel. So I'm taking it a step further. I'm going to do a whole New York sports channel. I'm working with the entertainer. Couple other people I'll be working with. Tony Crow probably be involved a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, we're gonna knock out this New York sports channel, and I'm gonna send out a link real soon so you guys can sub it, and you know, we'll have a chance to talk New York sports as in its entirety. But I'm never gonna lose NBK. This is the staple. This is the squad right here. You know what I mean? NBK is the squad. So I'm always gonna have, this always gonna be the squad. I'm keeping the same schedules always. Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays. You know, the New York sports channel is gonna be on another day. We're gonna start off a little bit slow with it, see how it goes, but it's gonna be real fun. And Ralph Unreal said, you know, we need to do a hip hop channel. I'm working on that with a couple of people as well. So I'm gonna be busy. But, you know, I enjoy this, man. It's fun. It's real fun. I'm also working on a special series for Nothing But Knicks. It's called A Knick Fan's Memoir. Again, A Knick Fan's Memoir. And I'm going to put this in the chat so you can hashtag it. And I'm going to tell you what it's about. Basically, let me write this in here. Knick fans. Hashtag a Knick fan's memoir. And what this series is going to be about is going to be about basically kind of telling some of my life story a little bit, and how the Knicks were intertwined in some things that went on in my life. You know, and I'm talking about some of the dark times and some of the bright times. You know what I mean? I got some real interesting stories. I think it's going to be something that's kind of fresh. So, you know, look for that coming within the next week or two. You know what I mean? Within the next week or two, that series will be out. So hopefully you guys like it. You know what I mean? But with that hashtag, what I want you guys, I'm pretty sure the Knicks have been a big part of your life as well, right? So if you have any stories, you know, about how maybe watching the Knicks helped you escape something that was going on in your life, or you know, it just helped you to have some good times, tell the story and use hashtag a Knick fan's memoir. You know what I mean? Put it on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is. You know what I mean? You know, just put it out there. You know, I like to hear you guys' stories, and you know, I get a real good one, we feature it up on the channel. That'll be what's up. You know, but let's talk about the Knicks a little bit. I'm gonna take this off because it's making me a little hot. I'll put it back on when I get some phone calls. But let's talk about the Knicks a little bit. I want to start talking about competitions within the team, lineups. We've been talking about it all along, but I want to get into it a little bit more. You know what I mean? So I'm going to start with Mario and Lance. Because that's a spot that's going to be up for grabs. If we're talking realistically, and Kanter or Robinson, we're going to talk about that too. But that one spot, we know that's up for grabs right now. We don't know if it's going to be Trey Burke right now or Frank Ntilikina. But we've had that discussion a lot. At the 2 spot, it's going to be Timmy. At least right now, we know it's going to be Timmy. And then at the 3 spot, you've got to believe it's going to be Kevin Knox. It better be Kevin Knox. It'd be ridiculous for anybody else to start in that position. And if that happens, then I'll have some serious questions about Fizdale. If somebody starts over Kevin Knox in that position, because I don't think there's definitely not going to be a better 3-man on the team than Kevin Knox. At this point, at least, right? Not with the squad that we got coming into this year. Then at that 4 spot, you're talking about Lance or Mario. And Mario can maybe play the 3, and you can put Kevin Knox at the 4. I'm not sure if you want Kevin Knox banging around with those guys at the 4 at 18 years old or 19 years old, whatever he's going to be when the season begins. But I'm pretty sure if it's either Mario or Lance with Kevin Knox at the 3, those guys would be kind of interchangeable. You know what I mean? Be interchangeable. Knox would be able to move to the 4 sometimes, and whoever's in that other spot, Mario or Lance, will be able to move to the 3. They'll be able to play positionless, right? That's the word, positionless. They'll be able to play positionless. But who gets it over Mario or Lance? There's positives and negatives to both, right? Positive and negatives to both. So who gets it? I mean, when you're talking about Lance Thomas, he's going to bring it defensively. He's a hardworking veteran. He's got to be the most tenured player on the team right now. Yeah, him and KP, I guess, are the most tenured players on the team. But KP's not going to be here for most of this season. So you're talking now about Lance Thomas is the most tenured player on the team, and for all intents and purposes, the leader. I'm going to say that Lance Thomas is probably going to be the captain of the team. You know what I mean? I wouldn't put it past Fizdale, and I wouldn't blame Fizdale for making Lance Thomas the captain of the team. I wouldn't blame him, not at all. He's been there. He's the elder statesman on the team. Lance Thomas and Courtney Lee, if Courtney Lee is still around, would probably be the captains of the team, and it makes sense because they're the veterans. And KP's not here right now. You know what I mean? So that makes sense to me that Lance Thomas, Courtney Lee would be the captains on the team. But you don't have to start to be the captain. You don't have to start to be the leader of the team. You don't. But it's very well possible, and I see Knicks Fan TV in the house. Big shout out to Knicks Fan TV. Thank you for stopping through. I didn't get a chance to shout you out on the last stream, but you know what I mean? You know what's up. But I could very well see Lance Thomas being the starter, even if it's, Fizdale is probably going to want to see what Mario's going to do on the defensive side of the ball, which makes sense. There's a lot of, when you're talking about that 3-4 position, there's a lot of guys in the league that you got to be able to play defense on. You know what I mean? You got to be able to play defense on some of those guys in the league. You're not going to stop them, right? LeBron is going to play 3-4. Melo's going to play 3-4. Maybe you can stop Melo nowadays. I don't know. We'll see what's up with Melo in Houston. Paul George is going to play 3-4. I mean, you got guys that's going to play 3-4, play that 3-4 spot, and you need somebody out there that can play defense. You know what I mean? You need somebody out there that can play defense, which is one of the reasons. I don't know if I'm giving the nod to Lance Thomas. I'm not going to say I'm giving him the nod, but that's one of the pros for Lance Thomas starting. You know what I mean? That's one of the pros. Now, of course, one of the cons is Lance Thomas's offense. We've seen Lance Thomas just be terrible on offense, not be a factor at all. Now, you know, if you got guys on your team that's going to put the ball in the hole, if you're on the floor, if he's on the floor with Trey Burke, Tim Hardaway, and Kevin Knox, maybe you don't need Lance Thomas to score. I mean, you need him to hit an open shot. And last year, to be honest with you, Lance Thomas had trouble even knocking down open shots from time to time. And it used to frustrate me. It did. I'm not gonna lie. It frustrated me. But I did appreciate the value of Lance Thomas. I did. I appreciate the value of Lance Thomas. You know, because I believe that Lance Thomas is a good locker room guy. I believe that he is a leader. You know, he's the prototypical professional. You know what I mean? He's gonna show up and come to work. He's not going to complain. He's not afraid to help lead and teach the young guys. I think you need a guy like that, which is why when people, you know, talk about trading Lance Thomas, I just kind of ignore it. I mean, or waiving Lance Thomas or getting rid of Lance Thomas, I kind of ignore it because I like Lance on the team. Like I see someone now, Pedicance, is saying Lance is trash. You know, I mean, you say Lance is trash because he's not going to give you 15. Right? I get that. But it's not all about that 15. You know what I mean? It's not all about that 15. If you can get 15 coming off the bench, you know, from someone, then maybe you use Lance Thomas as the starting 4-man. You know, just because he can play defense, and it's going to be necessary. And not only can he play defense, but he can switch off to different positions. Right? That's going to be a key as well. That's going to be a key, especially Fizdale says that we want to play positionless basketball. We keep saying it time and time again. If you're going to play positionless basketball, you're going to have to be able to switch on defense. It's got to be necessary. Well, not that it's got to be necessary. It is necessary that you be able to switch on defense. Lance Thomas can guard the 4, the 3, 2, and maybe sometimes the 1, depending on the size of that point guard. To me, that makes him very valuable. That makes him a very valuable player for your team. And he's not on a crazy contract either. You know what I'm saying? Motivated by success, you say he knows his roles and he knows his role and he plays it well. Exactly. He knows his role and he plays it well. He doesn't complain. He just comes to work and does what he needs to do. And listen, you're going to need to have Fizdale. I'm not doubting his leadership ability, but I believe that every team needs to have a triplet of veterans that you rely on to help lead your team. And with this team, you're looking at Lance Thomas, Courtney Lee, and Joakim Noah. Those are the 3 vets on the team. You know, I liken it back to, if you remember back in 2008 when the Giants won the Super Bowl. What happened that year? You know, what did Coach do that year? He put together a team of, because, you know, he wasn't able to relate to the players. So he put together a team of who? Michael Strahan. I don't know who else was in that team. Was in that group. But he puts together a group basically led by Michael Strahan. right? To do what? To communicate with the young guys, to communicate his message, to bring back to him messages from the young guys so that they could communicate back to him. Right? And that's necessary. That's key. You know what I mean? It's just the key. And it worked. Amani Toomer, yep, Strahan, and it worked. You know what I mean? And I believe that is the same exact thing that should happen in basketball. And I think that, I think that that's something that, would bode well. Justin Tuck would bode well for Fizdale. Not that Fizdale is not a good leader. It just makes sense that players are going to respond to players a little bit better than they respond to coaches from time to time. Because why? Because players begin to tune coaches out when you hear the same things over and over and over and over and over again. When it's not that they don't like the coach. In the Giants case, Tom Coughlin, maybe they did not like Tom Coughlin because Tom Coughlin was, he was a stickler. He was tough. He did it Tom Coughlin's way or the highway, the byway. Peace, you're out of there. That's how he was. In order to make up for his shortcomings in that area, he had a team of veterans to help him communicate with the young guys, and it worked. And I think that's what Fizdale would be smart to do with Lance Thomas, Courtney Lee, and Joakim Noah. If those guys are going to be on the team. I think Lance Thomas is going to be on the team. If Courtney Lee is going to be on the team, I think that'd be the smart thing to do. And that's why I value Lance Thomas. Fizdale, Perry, they discussed bringing in a veteran big man, like a 4-man or whoever, that's kind of a bruiser, but also understands his role and wasn't going to complain about sitting on the bench and not playing over young guys. That's Lance Thomas, That's Lance Thomas. And so, no, I don't want to trade Lance Thomas. I'd like to keep Lance Thomas around because I think he's good for the team. But does he get that starting position? His defense is a plus. His offense is a minus. Now let's talk about Mario. Mario's defense. And listen, I haven't seen a whole lot of Hezonja play. I've seen clips and I've seen some games. I've seen when he played against the Knicks. From what I understand, though, and from what I saw in some of the things, his I'm not going to say his defense is just terrible. He can't guard anyone, but he needs to work, which is okay for a young guy, right? He needs to work. He needs to improve on the defensive end of the ball. But then obviously and clearly offensively, the kid can play ball. He can light it up. He can play different positions. He can maybe even play the 1, the 2, the 3, or the 4. Right, so now you got the opposite of Lance Thomas. Lance Thomas can guard the 1, 2, 3, or 4. Mario can play the 1, 2, 3, or 4 on the offensive end of the ball. So which do you value the most? I value the defense the most. But of course, there's going to be times when you're going to need that offensive versatility. That's one area. I'm going to be watching this in preseason. I'm going to be looking for it, watching it, because I think that's going to be one of the battles that we've got to look out for. That's going to be one of the battles that we got to watch. All right. Call in 516-405-2246. Take a couple of calls and then, we'll get back to talking a little bit. I want to know what you think about Lance Thomas and Mario. Who you think is going to be that starter? You can also video chat in, appear.in/NBK. And remember, comment, share this out. If you're new to the channel, hit me with the sub. Enter yourself in a contest to win a Kevin Knox rookie card. enter yourself in that contest. Give me a call, 516-405-2246. Kevin, Lance Thomas versus Mario Hezonja. Who gets that starting position? You know, it's the classic. It's the classic defense versus offense. You know, and outside of defense versus offense, Mario, so far, he's had a history of maybe being immature a little bit. Hopefully he's outgrown it as far as Fizdale is concerned, or Perry is concerned. He thinks that he's outgrown it. He thinks that he's matured a little bit. And I hope that's the case. I surely hope that's the case. So we got a call on the line. We're going to pick this up. You are on live with Nothing But Knicks. Caller, what's popping?
How you doing, brother? It's JJ from Brooklyn again. I spoke to you the other night. How's it going, man?
I'm chilling, man. How you feeling?
Pretty good. Like you're saying, man, I'm just excited. We got, we have a core for once to be excited about for years. You know what I mean? With Knox, Robinson, KP, Frank. Mm-hmm. And this year too, I hate to say it, which, it could be a good thing because we're going to be, get a top 5 pick, you would think, this year. Maybe. Again.
Maybe.
There's some, we're watching a lot of do because they have 3 kids who are going to be likely top 5 picks, So,
okay.
I like, Langford and Reddish, those 2 guys, to me, that would be perfect. That, Langford to get we need a shooting guard on the team for the future too, so. You don't think Tim Hardaway is that? We're going to have a great core for years, man. Okay. It's just exciting, you know what I'm saying?
So you don't think Tim Hardaway is that future shooting guard?
Nah, not really, man. It's just too inconsistent, That's his problem, man. Quarter to quarter, he's, his game is just hot and cold. It's like every game,
Yeah. So, now tell me, what do you think about?
I just want to try, to me, I would just try and move him so we can get cap space, man, so we could sign, a star in the off season,
Yeah. So quickly, man, what do you think about Lance Thomas versus Mario Hezonja? Who do you think gets that start position?
They're different players, Lance is, really good defensively, but offensively, he's a liability. You know what I'm saying? Hezonja to me has more offensive potential. I'd rather see Hezonja get more minutes than Lance Thomas, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah, Hezonja's what, 23, I believe. Now
that's true, right? And you want to give Hezonja a chance to prove that he can live up to some of the potential that he was.
Yeah, what was he, top 5, top 6 pick, I believe, a few years ago?
Let me see. We picked KP. We picked KP, what, 4th? I think he was top 5, yeah.
Yeah. So,
hey, my man.
It's exciting, like I said, man. We got a young core, man.
Yeah. Got a young one. It's fun, definitely. Hey, man, I'm gonna let you rock. I thank you for calling in.
All right, man. Take it easy, bro.
All right, peace, man.
Peace.
Viv, what's poppin', man? What's up with you?
What's going on, Sim? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing? Glad to see you here in the video chat.
No doubt.
What's your take, Lance Thomas versus Mario Hezonja? What's your take on it?
It really depends on the lineup, to be quite honest with you. If Trey Burke wins the starting point guard position, which I don't really know. If he does, then you might be better off having Lance in there. Gives a balance defensively.
Okay.
If someone like Frank ends up, if Frank ends up getting the starting position, then Mario might be better.
Yeah.
But look, I want them fighting in training camp and preseason. Let them duke it out. Whoever wins, wins. And that's one of the reasons Lance is even he's even here in the first place. Mm-hmm. If you remember a few years ago, he when he got, I think, remember that J.R. Smith trade? I think they cut him and then they basically forced him to sign, I think, 10-day contracts until proved himself to be a halfway decent player. So
right.
Clearly he knows coming from basically nothing to, you know, getting a contract. So, you know, let Lance push these guys around. Right. You know, maybe it ends up happening that Lance will just, you know, force Mario to be tougher and better.
Yeah, that's something that I respect about Lance. I respect that he, you know, I mean, he went from, you know, basically, you know, he was in OKC. He didn't do much. You know, he worked his way into a contract. Maybe, and you know, listen, maybe his contract was, maybe he earned that contract because of the triangle, right? The triangle, I'm sure, helped him out a little bit. But you know, he's a worker, though. You know what I mean? He's a worker.
Yeah, that's the real thing. He's a worker. He's a New Yorker, and you know, since Kyle's gone, you know, you got to have at least. I mean, we got Noah, but we at least got to have one New Yorker, right? You know, that's playing. So
exactly. And you know, for all, I'm gonna bring this over. This is Lance Thomas's stats for 2017, 2018. He averaged 4.1 points per game. Okay, this is for his career. He averaged 5.3. So you know, listen, Lance Thomas is not gonna score. That's not what he's there to do. Okay, but he did shoot 40% from three last year.
He did.
He shot 40% from three.
He shot 40% the last 3 years too.
Yeah.
He shot, I think, 45% the year before. He got 40% the year before that.
Right. He shot 38% from, you know, his field goal percentage was 38%. So that means if he shot 40% from three, and then, you know, he shot 38% from the field overall, that means he shot like 36%, you know, from 2-point range, which means, you know, the guy couldn't make layups.
You know what happened with Lance? I think the problem with Phil and all of them is he took a ton of long twos, but when he actually shot threes, he was shooting them pretty well. But you know, somehow he just shot a lot of long twos, those terrible twos, and then just like, you know, that's what really killed his percentage. But you know, if he sticks to the 3-point line, then you know, if he can maintain, even if it's not 40%, you know, somewhere in the high 30s.
Right.
Then hey, that's not bad, right?
Right. No. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Let me get to I'm gonna get to one of these calls. All right. Let me get to one of these calls and we'll get back to the video chat. You're on live with nothing but Knicks. Caller, what's popping?
What's good, Tim?
What's good, man?
My first time calling in, man. I'm Anthony Dunbar.
All right, appreciate it, Anthony. Thank you for calling in.
What's going on, brother?
I'm chilling, man.
Calling and get into the chat.
Okay. So what's your take, man? What's your take on this Lance Thomas and Mario Hezonja?
Sim, Lance is a bum, and you know Lance is a bum. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean that in basketball terms. In basketball terms,
okay.
Lance plays hard. Lance gives effort. But that doesn't mean he's a good defender.
I think he is a good defender.
It doesn't mean he's worth his contract. You know, the worst thing that the Knicks did was give Lance a four-year deal coming off of a veteran's minimum.
I mean, I don't think his contract is terrible.
His contract and Courtney Lee's contract are the two albatross besides Noah, because no one's taking Noah. Noah's going to be here all year.
Okay.
I think all Knicks fans would agree to that, right? But those two gentlemen, the way how you speak highly of them, veteran individuals who, well, at least Courtney Lee has played in the championship game, and Lance has been around for a second. No one has knocked on the Knicks' door to try and get either one of these two contracts, and there's a reason for that.
I mean, we don't know. I mean, you know, we can only hear what's being told to us and what's being reported. You know, we don't know if there's been phone calls and maybe I can see Lance. I can see people not really beating down the door for Lance. But Lance makes $7 million this year, $7.5 million next year. That's not horrible. And I think Courtney Lee averaged 12 points a game. He averaged he's making 12.2 this year, 12.7 next year. I don't think that's an albatross. Joakim Noah is an albatross because he's not even seeing the floor.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
When Fizdale made the remark that he was quoted in the paper as saying that Lance would be like his Draymond Green, how did you feel? What was the first thing that came to your mind?
I don't know what the first thing that came to my mind was. I understood what he was saying. I didn't think that he was saying he was going to be Draymond Green. Not at all. I understood exactly what he was saying.
But
That he can play that role. He can play that role for the Knicks, right? That all-purpose defender.
No, stop it. No, he cannot. Stop it.
So you think? Wait a minute. So you think?
You cannot have Lance on the court for 30 or 35 minutes a game.
That's not what he was saying. That's not what he was saying. He's saying Lance can be that all-purpose defender. There was one thing that I really did not agree with him about. Is when he said you can run the offense through Lance. I do not believe that you can run the offense through Lance. And that's not a knock on him because he doesn't score. It's just I don't think he handles the ball well enough. But as far as him being an all-purpose defender, a guy that can rebound, a guy that can, as we've seen, he shoots 40% from three. Maybe he doesn't shoot well from 2-point range. But I think that's what he was meaning. I don't think he was meaning he's going to be Draymond Green.
You know what? Anyone can steer numbers to validate their point. Lance shot 40% from three, and he took what 53, 75 for the whole year. Did it make a difference? Did it really? Those numbers is like
you said. Did it make it? I mean, it didn't make a difference when anybody shot last year.
Yeah, well, for
right?
him in particularly because he's the topic of discussion. Lance averaged 3 points a game last year?
4 points a
game last year?
Yeah, averaged 4 points a game. But I mean, I don't think that's his. I don't think you can take his points and say that's his value. That's not what he's there for. If you're depending on Lance to be a scorer, then your team is in trouble.
I totally understand that, and you're somebody that watches pretty much every Knicks game. I assume, correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I remember a game last year and the year before where they played against Milwaukee, and he had the assignment to stop Greek Freak, and was down to the last few seconds and so forth. And I'm sure a few Knicks fans remember that. And I'm saying to myself, Lance, this is your moment right here. This is why you're in the game. And far too many times, when he's in the game just to put that kind of, let me body him up, let me use my energy, and, although he's not 6'10", 6'11", I understand that. Greek Freak shot that game winner over him like he was just standing still, like I could have went out there and guarded the Greek Freak. There is no way, you can tell me and sell me that Lance, there's a role for him here outside of just talking to the players on the bench.
I mean, I just think that there's a role for him. I think that you don't depend on. And I'm gonna let you go after this. I appreciate the call, and listen, I appreciate everything that you got to say, man. Don't think I'm not kicking you off because we're having a debate. I just want to get other people.
No,
on,
I know. There's a lot of people going on, and just one last thing. Stop it with Timmy. Stop it. I saw how you baited that last caller and asked him right away about the shooting guard, but we'll talk about that another time.
Okay, we'll talk about that another time, man. All right, appreciate the call. Right, Anthony, brother. Right? Anthony?
All right, brother.
Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
Hope to hear from you soon. Brother. All right, peace. Good call. But still, I do believe that Lance Thomas can have a role on the team. I think, an all-purpose defender is needed on every team. Everyone's not going to be a primary scorer, I'm sorry. You got to have some role players on the team. And let me get to the video chat. And is this my man Ron Cleveland?
Man,
there we go.
Man.
What's poppin', man? How you feeling?
Man, hey, I just got my workout in, man. You see me in my New York Knicks attire, man. Hey, what's up to the chat? Hey, I'm listening to some of the stuff being said already. It's comical. Guy said, he said that Courtney Lee contract is albatross.
I don't see that being an albatross, man.
Sam, you're gonna have to start doing like they do when you call into the radio show, man. With some of them statements, man. You're gonna have to start cutting people off, man. Hey, I know you be trying to be a nice guy, man, but hey, saying that, hey, that person don't know the finances of basketball, man.
I feel you, man.
That's just not a cool statement to say. But with Lance, me personally, I don't have a problem with Lance. As long as he ain't eating up some of the young guys' minutes, we can play Lance. There's always a spot where you're gonna need defenders. I don't care. You're gonna need them.
Exactly.
You can find. I always say, I say it, Sim. You gotta have defenders because you can always find people to put the ball in the basket. Nowadays, when you go look out and see players playing AAU or whatever they're playing, the first thing they want to do is score before they even think about defense. So,
right.
Hey, I don't have a problem with Lance. He's very professional. I mean, you can't have enough of them guys. But the only thing is, if we're going to have Lance as our veteran to mentor our young guys and let them know how to be a professional and how to do things the right way, then we got to ship Courtney Lee. Not because of money, but we need to really let our young guys go, man. Open the door, let them boys run, man.
Yeah,
and you know what? And you know what's funny, Sim? We've been talking so much about this year as one thing that we haven't really said much about. Man, that next year's draft pick is going to be golden. That's going to be like extra. You know what I mean? Whatever we get from that is going to be great because we're going to get somebody in free agency. We don't know who it's going to be. We're going to get somebody in free agency. That next year draft pick is going to be something special, man. And that person going to come in and not have to be the focal point of the team. They can just assimilate in with the team, with the offense. And I think it was funny when your boy had to talk about Fizdale. It was funny about him talking about your boy Lance being like Draymond Green. Nah, that'll never happen. That'll never happen, not in this lifetime. I like Lance, but you can't compare him to Draymond Green. He can't run the offense. No way.
Well, and that's the big thing right there. You know, when he said you can run the offense through Lance, I just disagree. Lance does not handle the ball well enough to run the offense through him, in my opinion. He just doesn't. He doesn't handle the ball well enough. You know, can he pass? I don't know if he can really, if he really has the floor vision to find the open person. I mean, he can pass it to you on the wing, to get the ball out of his hands, but I don't see him really initiating and leading and controlling the offense like Draymond Green can do. Exactly. I don't see that in Lance at all.
And I'll go ahead and answer that for you because you said, can he? The fact that you got to ask that question as long as he's been here,
right?
That lets you know what your answer is,
right? And
he can't run the offense.
Yeah,
that ain't happening.
And that right there that's gonna be the biggest knock and the biggest plus for Mario Hezonja, right? Because Mario can run the offense. He has court vision. So that right there is going to be a plus for Mario Hezonja. It's going to be interesting to see how it works out and how it plays out. French Unicorn is here. We got one of the OGs back. But French, before I get you back on, let me take one of these calls, all right? You're live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin', man? And can I get you to turn that down in the back, please?
Oh, my bad. How about that? What's up, Tim?
No doubt. What's poppin', man? What's going on? Who I'm speaking with?
All right. This is Reg from Brooklyn.
What's happening with you, bro?
All right. I was thinking about this, man. Now, Mario size, they said he's like 232 now, right? He's size? His weight?
You said he's like 232. Let's see. He's 6'8". We know he's 6'8". I don't see his weight up here. Yeah, 6'8", 218.
So he's only 218. Okay.
Yep.
My thing is this, because I'm checking out the lineups now. I know we ain't talking about Larry or Nance on the team, about Mario or Lance starting, right? Who will be better at the start?
Right. Who you think is going to get that spot? Right. That's what we're talking about.
I think it should be Lance for one reason. I don't see a pure three or coming off the bench for us. Barnier is not a three. He's more of a four. He could play three, but he's not he's more of a four.
Right.
We don't want to put Doc out of position from guard to three. So really, off the bench, who's our three? if it ain't Mario. Doc gonna replace Hardaway. I think Trey gonna replace Nikina, because Nikina I think gonna start.
Okay.
Knox is gonna be our 3 starting. Well, I got our offense and defense flow on both sides of the first team, second team. It got to be Mario coming off the bench.
Okay.
But Lance is that all-around hustle dude who could do all that. He don't have to score with Nikina, Knox, Hardaway, Kanter. We don't need a 4 to score. So I feel Lance has to start on the team we got right now. Now, Porzingis is there. Ain't no choice. Lance is on the bench.
Right. Once KP comes back, I mean, you know, it's no question KP is starting at the 4.
Look at our lineup, but you put Mario in the starting lineup with the other scorers. The only person that comes off the bench that can score is Trey.
Yeah.
Trey and Doc sometimes.
Right. So yeah.
Everybody else is defensive cats.
Right. Those are some good points, man. Good points. Hey, I know I got some other people want to call in. We got some people in the video chat. I definitely appreciate you calling in, though, man.
No problem, brother. I like the show. Keep it up.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Right.
All right, peace. All right, so let's see who we got in the video chat. And look, I think those are some really good points. You know, right now, you know, we have one bona fide 3 on the team who eventually may not even be a 3. One of these days may be a 4, right? And if Knox turns into a 4, then that means, you know, at some point KP maybe is going to be the 5, because you're going to have KP and Knox in the starting lineup. I don't care what KP and Knox are going to be in the starting lineup, no matter who ends up being on this team. Those 2 guys are going to be in the starting lineup, right? So you know how it shakes out, how it shakes loose. We'll see how it is. But I agree with him. Who's the 3 coming off the bench? Right? Do you bring in Lance Thomas coming off the bench and he's not going to be a spark? Right? Or do you have Lance Thomas starting the game? He can play some defense on opposing threes. The 3 position is the most lethal position in the NBA, so you need someone who can defend it. And then you have someone like Mario coming off the bench who can light it up. Hopefully, you know. It's going to be interesting. So let's get back to our video chat. Let's see who's in. Let's see. You know, we got some new people joining us in the chat. You know, we got an old school, one of our OG callers in the chat. My man, French Unicorn. What's popping, French, man? What's happening with you?
I'm chilling. I stay up with you guys tonight.
Hey, could you do me a favor? Could you you got some headphones or something, or maybe speak, because with the speaker it's kind of breaks up a little bit. Yeah, that's much better.
Better? All right. Let me shut this down. How you guys doing? Been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man. I know it's popping off down there in Ocean City right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm a little further than Ocean City, but yeah, it's real busy. Summertime.
Yeah, summertime, real busy.
Make that coin.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Make the coin, and then winter time we go back to hibernation.
Right. Yeah.
But I like that caller's points. I agree with him on Lance. You start Lance, put Mario off the bench. I like that. But I don't think that we signed Mario to put him off the bench. We'll probably put him at the power forward.
Okay. Yeah. And that's a point too. You know, did you sign him to bring him off the bench? You know, I know Fizdale said everyone's gonna be fighting for a position, so you know it's not gonna be like, okay, we signed you for a certain contract, you're playing. You know, the people are gonna have to earn their spots.
Yeah, but this guy's give him a chance. That's what I think. And he's probably as experienced starting as anybody else we have at that position. Right.
He's
at least got some starts under his belt. I don't know. He ended the year good last year at power forward. I think that's where we're going to put him. Or small forward and knock that power. That's interchangeable anyway. They both could play both.
Yeah. And you know, with Mario, the thing about Mario, he's not Kristaps Porzingis, but he lets you pretend that Porzingis is there on the floor and kind of look at different types of lineups because he can do, because he can kind of play like a stretch 4 type of thing, even though he's 6'8", maybe he's small 4'4", but he can kind of play like the stretch 4 and do some things that KP can do. You can kind of pretend and put some things in that acts like he's KP, and then when KP gets back, those other guys, Frank, Kevin Knox, they're used to doing those things, except now you're doing it with a superior player. The
only knock there is that now you have probably the weakest defense starting from. Yeah.
Right, and
Kanter
which makes
not floor on D.
Exactly.
Then you rely on Knox and Mario to defend. But it's going to be growing pains all year. You know that, sir.
Yep. And that goes back to what Viv was saying. I don't know if you heard earlier, but what Viv was saying is that between Mario and Lance, and we're going to end this topic soon, but between Mario and Lance, it does kind of come down to, who's starting at that point guard spot, who's starting at the center spot, which is probably going to be Kanter. Because like you said, if you got Kanter and you got Hazonia, 2 guys that are going to have a hard time guarding the 5 and the 4, we're in trouble. Right?
Yeah, Lance ain't going to give you more. Know that. It ain't like Lance is going to give you any blocks or he ain't going to protect the rim.
No, he's not going to do those things. But, he'll be able to play good team defense. Some good on-ball defense. And I'm not saying he's the all-world defensive player of the year, candidate, but plays decent defense. Yeah.
Hey, Sam.
We don't really have a close defense.
Yeah, go ahead, Ron.
Ron Cleveland up there. Big shout out to my man, Rob.
Hey, you see it, man. You see who that is right there? You see who that is?
Yes, sir.
One of the originals.
Yeah.
And man.
Same here, man. Hey, but you know what? This is a good topic for discussion, man. But what I'm sitting here thinking, the move to release Troy Williamson is coming back to bite. You feel me? And the reason why I say that, Troy in that second unit would have been perfect. And it's how I feel about the situation. As many guards as we've got, they could have cut Baker and eat that contract. As far as I'm concerned.
That was public relations, though, Ron. He had to cut. If not, if he doesn't find a team, don't be shocked coming back to the Knicks.
Yeah, I won't be surprised, but I would have loved for us to keep him because what I saw in the summer league, I said this guy playing hard. I didn't know that all the stuff was surrounding it looked like he was playing for next contract with somebody else in the world.
Yeah, he want to make some money. Maybe somebody gives it for my contract.
Yeah. I would love to have him in that second unit. Then that situation be solidified. We get rid of a little bit of that glut at the point guard position. Because Baker, to me, I think he's still going to be the odd man up. Either way, he's still some of that corner check stuff. And you know what I mean? And Phil Jackson. Yeah, so it wouldn't have bothered me if we would cut him. I mean, he's taking what, $3-4 million? Man, Dolan, throw that out in the nightclub when he playing his music.
Right.
Yeah,
so look,
don't be shocked if we make a move or still because we still got Courtney Lee. It looks like he really doesn't have a role. So we have a team. I saw Noah shooting 3-pointers today. Anybody else do that besides me?
Yeah, I seen that. But look, and we have to make a move. We've got to make a move coming up. You know what I mean?
We need another small forward in that. We got to make a move.
Yeah, but we have 16 players. So we got to cut somebody before the season begins. Cut somebody, waive somebody, whatever it is. We got to move somebody.
The 2 new guys we signed could be G League players too. It's not like they're we could send them down. Have to keep them on track.
Well, I think the guy that they signed, Noah, they signed to an actual contract. Hey, let me get to I'm gonna move on and get to Kanter and Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, I'm ready for that topic.
Yeah, because that's a good one, right?
Yeah, by the All-Star break, Mitchell will be starting. I'll take that.
Think so. And see here is I'm gonna talk for a minute. You guys can talk in the background. I'm gonna mute this out, and then Ken, when I come back, I'm gonna get to you. All right, Ken. But Mitchell Robinson and as Kanter, that's going to be. I'm gonna tell you right now. I believe from the start of the season, it's going to be Enes Kanter. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be Enes Kanter from the start of the season. What happens during the midseason? That's going to be that. That's going to be a good question. That's a good question. What happens come middle of the season? I think to start the season, you got to go with Kanter. You got to give Mitchell Robinson. We know he played well in summer league and he did his thing in summer league. I just don't think his body is ready to handle the big boys down there right now. At least. Listen, if we didn't have Enes Kanter, then I guess you throw him out there. But I think since you have Enes Kanter, give him a time to get adjusted to the NBA speed, to the NBA, to the strength, the strength of these guys down there. You're playing with some big boys down there. You know what I mean? You're playing with some real big boys down there. Them guys are huge. Now I know you're gonna, Mo Bamba's gonna be starting and DeAndre Ayton, they're gonna be starting and things like that. But if you have the luxury, to let them, but those guys played a full year of college basketball as well. It makes a difference. It does. It definitely makes a difference. Knicks Fan TV said Mitch needs work. I agree with you. He needs some work. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? And based on what we've seen in summer league, I know. Before summer league started, I was like, he's probably gonna have to play some time in the G League, before he comes up and plays. After summer league, I'm like, maybe not. Maybe he'll be able to play, but I don't think he's gonna start. You know what I mean? Because just what I said. I don't think he's gonna start. And defensively, people can say, well, he can get blocks. That's true. He can block, but he can get blocks off the bench too. He can still come in and get 4 or 5 blocks if he's coming off the bench and playing 20 minutes a game. You know what I mean? I think you're gonna want to protect his body a little bit. Give him that year, like the Knicks did with Frank last year. And I think this goes overlooked, but during the season, Frank put on 8 pounds during the season, 8 pounds of muscle, which means that tells me that the Knicks weren't concerned about what his production was on the floor. They were more concerned about developing him and his body. And I think that's the same type of approach you got to take for Mitchell Robinson. You know what I mean? Develop his body. Give him this year to come off the bench, play some minutes off the bench, but put him on a plan and a weight training plan to strengthen his body, strengthen his upper body, strengthen his lower body. He's going to need to strengthen both of them, the right way. So then next year, when Kanter most likely is going to be gone, I think we'll see what happens after this year. Or maybe he goes back on a cheap 1-year deal. Who knows? But, I think he'll probably be gone. Then, maybe he'll be ready to step in. You know what I mean? So I think that's probably the way that it'll go. I don't even think by the All-Star break he's going to be the starter. I think Kanter will be the starter all year, and he'll get significant minutes. I think he'll get significant minutes. I think Kanter will be the starter all year. Now I'm cool with that. I'm all right with that. Tony Crow, man, what's popping, man?
Yo, Black is trash. Shout out to the chat.
For sure. Man? What's going on with you? So what's your take on these topics, man? What's your take?
Let me start with the Mitchell Kanter. Like I've been saying, him not playing a whole year, that's a big effect, and I don't think he's capable of playing a full 82 game season. 25, 30 minutes a game. I think the best thing for them to do is give him a good 10, maybe 15 minutes early on. Let him play those 25, 30 minutes in the G League. And then maybe by mid-season, second half of the season, he may be ready to start. But I wouldn't, especially with him not being a necessity as far as us in Kanter, as far as us potentially having Joe Noah, it's not essential to just put him out there. If he was a first round pick, you know, an early top 10 picks,
right,
I may feel a little bit different. If he played a full year at college, I would definitely feel a lot different.
Right.
But I don't want to overwork him. I'd rather let him get his reps in the G League, give him 10 to 15 minutes with the big club, and then, you know, evaluate him. Go from there.
Yeah.
A few things I want to say about him, Mitchell Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
The limited minutes for him is going to be probably the best thing that could happen for both of us. Especially the way he plays, you can literally put him out there and just tell him to play his game. Especially with 10 to 15 minutes, he don't got to worry about fouling out. You foul out in your 10, 15 minutes, you foul out. It's not like KP where you know, KP's rookie year, we actually had to slow him down as far as trying to block everything because we needed him on the floor for his offensive potential.
Yeah.
Robinson's going to be a little bit different where we could lay back and say, you know what, play your game, go after everything, do what you do best, and in the limited minutes, foul trouble won't affect him like it would if we needed him for 30 minutes.
Right.
So that's my take on him. What was the first topic you had up there?
We were talking about Mario and Lance. You know, who might get that start at that 4 position?
That's a little bit tougher. I think whomever said depending on the point guard, that's been my argument from the beginning as far as like if we should start Frank or if we shouldn't. And it boils down to the other positions as well. We were vice versa. If we're gonna start Frank, then we need all offensive players. You know,
right.
You know, the rest of the squad. I would love to have Frank and Mitchell playing at least all of Mitchell's minutes. I would love for Frank to be on the floor with him as well.
Yeah.
I think that'll work beautifully with Frank being able to get him the ball in the right spots. Again, not having to run the plays for him and just using both of their skill sets. I'm still stuck. I'm not sure if I would even start Lance though. I think his liability on offense is way bigger than his benefits on defense.
Okay.
I think we both see the potential in Knox as far as guarding multiple positions, and Mario, I think he's kind of in that same boat. He may not be as long, but the guy has heart. Like he doesn't take kindly for someone scoring on him.
Okay.
So you better believe if somebody scores 2 or 3 plays on him, he's gonna dig in. So I like Mario and Knox together, and then maybe just figuring out who's the better person for each one of them to guard.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think I would start Mario and Knox.
Well, yeah. Oh, well, you know, yeah, he definitely Knox is starting. And let me get to Ken Coleman. He's in the video chat. All right, let me get to Ken. See what Ken thinks on the topic. All right. 1 second, Ken. There we go. Ken, what's going on, man? Thank you for being patient, man.
All right, shout out. Yes, shout out to the chat. Ron Cleveland, I'm so glad to see you because I love hearing you. You're a Knicks fan just like I am. However, I did hear Sim say that he, would you say you were born in 1994?
I was born in 76. I graduated in 94. Yeah.
And you graduated high school when? In
94? Yep, 1994.
Oh my goodness! See, I was a junior in high school when the Knicks won their championship. So that's how far I go back. You know, but let me explain something first and foremost. Sim, you were absolutely right when you talked about Lance Thomas. He doesn't have the capabilities of handling the ball. We see as he tries to drive to the basket, he's lost it several times just trying to go in for the slam. So that's out. If you're going to play him in some positions at one time or another, he's going to have to rebound. I don't need him to get, if he only gets 6 points, he only gets 6 points. But I need 6 rebounds, not 2. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about Frank, because everybody wants to talk about Frank. And I love the boy. I know, Sim, you love him. First and foremost, he's going to slow anybody down who's in front of him. 1, 2, 3, and even 4. Number two, the coach already told you his shot ain't broke. Now, distributing the ball, if you got him at the 2 and everybody's spreading, just like we said about Lance Thomas, the boy can knock down the 3. So he knocks down the 3 already. The coach says, look here, I need you to go to the foul line at least 6 times a game. You give me 12 points. And Ron, you can attest to this. When Frank distributes the ball, it's usually right in your hands up under the basket. Am I lying?
You right. You right about that.
I cannot ask for a point guard to do no more for me than that.
Yeah.
And with positionless basketball, one of the things about Robertson that worries me is, and the same as Mario, these 2 individuals need to learn that defensive stance, just like Kanter. That's his problem. He doesn't have a good position when it comes to defense. You got to have both hands up. You got to bend at the knees, and a lot of times they're standing up. That's KP's fault. That's KP's problem too. He don't bend at the knees, but he's coming around.
Yeah,
he's coming around.
You got to be careful. Hey, you got to be careful in this chat. Ken talking about KP.
Don't get me wrong. I think KP is a heck of a player, but I agree with this brother that came on the podcast the other day. I think he's West Indian or Jamaican, and as he said, KP's lower body strength is very weak, and he already don't want to play inside. But to be great, as coach would tell him, you're going to need to back some people down and shoot up over top of them. That's all there is to it.
Exactly.
So, listen. Yeah.
Oh, who's that hit? There you go. Let me unmute that. There you go.
Yeah. One thing as a ball player and playing basketball, I mean, I've always played as an undersized point guard and not heavy. But the one thing you can't, when you were saying about lowering your center of gravity, that gives you more weight to the floor. It's not as easy to push you around. But when you're standing straight up, I don't care how big and strong you are. If you're standing straight up and somebody hits you, you're gonna move backwards because your gravity, your base is off.
Right.
Right.
You on that.
Right. Well, go ahead, babe.
Who? No, go ahead, Ken. Go ahead, Ken.
Oh no, we ain't expecting.
Not fully grown. Because let's face it, the boy did come in the beginning of last year scoring 30 points a game. I mean,
talking about KP.
Looking like
if and I have to say this about Tim Hardaway Jr., like I told Knicks Fan TV once before. If Tim Hardaway Jr. is not to be my starting shooting guard, then he surely should be looking at coming off the bench as 6-man with 6-man honors.
I agree.
With the money he got, because you see what's out here. you got to get paid. I told somebody about Kyle Irving and wanting to come to the Knicks. He had an opportunity, but he would have had to defer money. And I'm in a mind to say, I got to stick with these young boys and let them play for 2 years. I like Mario, like my boy, like your boy said a minute ago. Mario got heart. Now you come at him, he can shoot the lights out of the basket, and he can distribute, which Lance Thomas cannot do.
Right.
He's an
all-around player.
At 33 and 30-something years old, he just did not have that in him. Maybe if he'd have gotten a coach like Fizdale 3 years ago, you may have seen a different Lance Thomas. Who knows?
True.
Yeah. All right.
On that Mitchell Robinson discussion, man, that's a good discussion. That's what I really.
And listen, Knicks Fan TV threw a little monkey wrench in there. What about Cornette? I seen him say something earlier. What about Cornette? Where does Cornette fit in there? I forget about Cornette sometimes.
Well, you know, with Cornette, he might be less interchangeable. Where you might be able to put Mitchell at the 4, you can put KP at the 4 or 5. I think Cornette is gonna thrive at the 5. He could protect the rim.
Good, okay,
great.
He don't get pushed
he
around.
Can bring the big man out when he's shooting, and he can rebound at probably a better clip than KP right now.
He's a better rebounder right now.
He's a center.
Okay. Hey, let me take a break for a second, guys.
They say they want Cornette to play the 4, like KP.
You
have to bring up the shooting percentage from 3-point. What's he shooting? 31%?
Yeah, he's a poor man's KP.
I mean, Vivek, you're the stats man. I know you know.
He can't put the ball on the floor as well.
Yeah. Hey guys, let me get to a couple of shout outs real quick. All right, then we're gonna get back to talking. But let me get to a couple of shout outs. All right. I want to give a shout out to a couple of people who sent me some super chats. Kareem Adolphus. He said, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. And he said, I would love to help Sim make beats. Kareem, I'm gonna get with you because, you know, like I said earlier, I'm working on a project. The project is called a Knicks fan's memoir. And I might need to throw some things in the background. So, I'll get with you. You know what I mean? And I mean, of course, I make beats and stuff too, but I always like to look out and, see what other people got, collaborate, do some work together. Siobhan Robinson, appreciate the super chat. You said it would be a Fortnite breakathon if Lance starts. Well, you're right about that. I mean, you're definitely right about that. Robert Perez, thank you for the super chat. He said if Frank is at the 1, then LT, where the points coming from? Well, that goes back to what Viv was saying. If you got Frank at the 1, then maybe you definitely start Mario because, if you got Frank at the 1 and you also have, you got 2 guys that maybe is going to stunt your offense. If you got Frank out there, you need, like Tony said, you need offensive guys on the floor. I mean, Justin Alba, appreciate the super chat. He said, you don't usually comment as much, but I just want to say that I love the show and I love the way you've been improving the show. Can't wait for the season to start and to watch the show. I appreciate it, man. I hope you keep coming back. And we're going to keep on working to improve the show and trying to get, more things coming on. I will say this. I don't know how many of you play fantasy basketball, but I'm going to set up a fantasy basketball league for the show as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when the season starts, we'll have a fantasy basketball league, we can all get together and play some fantasy basketball. And of course, we'll bring it on to the show and, put it on the show and all that stuff. So definitely that's going to be fun. French Unicorn, of course. Thank you for the super chat. You say, mad love, Sim. Give a shout out to Marty Knicks, Ismail Hernandez, CP the Artist, Tony Crow, BN, Ron Cleveland in the chat. Mad love. You said Lance is a great role player for the cheap. I agree with that. Chris Hauser, thank you for the super chat. Said, love the show. I live in Odenton, Maryland. That's what's up. I just came through Odenton today. Saying Frank needs to start to establish defensive culture. You have no problem with with Lance, and that Nas is going to be in Columbia, Maryland on Saturday. Yeah, Nas is going to be in Columbia on Saturday. I'm not going to get to go because I already had some things planned, but the next time Nas comes to the area often. I've been to a couple of Nas concerts when he came to DC. You know what I mean? But I'm going to get out to one soon next time he comes back. I don't want to go too off topic, but Nas came, and if you guys get a chance, go on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, whatever it is, and listen to when Nas did the Illmatic album to an orchestra. It's ill. It is ill. It is really, really ill. And I missed it when he came to DC and did it. I really wish that I would have caught it live, but I didn't catch it live. But it's one of the illest things you want to hear. It's dope, man. It's real dope. And then Jules the Walker, appreciate the super chat. He said, keep up the good work, fam. Knicks for life. Definitely Knicks for life. And I appreciate all you guys for the super chats. Appreciate everybody for coming in and talking. Just to remind everyone with some of the announcements that I made earlier, please leave comments. If you're new to the channel, you haven't sub. The more comments you leave, the more subs you share. I'm going to enter your name, enter you in the contest to win the Kevin Knox rookie card. And I'll announce the winner Sunday, 10:30 on Sunday. Also, we're spinning off. Tony Crow, I mentioned your name a little bit earlier. I'm not sure if you was on, but I heard. Spinning off with the entertainer to do a New York sports channel. You know what I'm saying? And we'll talk about how we can all be involved and make this thing go. And then of course I got a new series that's going to be on NBK called a Knick Fans Memoir. And it's going to be something that's kind of personal, vulnerable. You can use the hashtag and Knick Fans Memoir. And if you have a story about how the Knicks just played a role in something that happened in your life, let's talk about it. Hashtag it, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever it is. I mean, yeah. So, that's the shout outs there. I see we got this guy Cameron in the chat, but he keeps on, his video keeps going in and out. You know what I mean? Video keeps going in and out. So let's move on. Those are all great discussions, by the way. Everybody, thank you guys. Some really great discussions. Melo's moving on to the Houston Rockets. Melo's coming into the twilight of his career. And of course, he played for a short time in New York. Not a short time, played for 7 years in New York. Does Melo deserve to have his jersey retired in New York? Tony, I'm gonna let you start off with this right here, but then I'm gonna try to get to a couple of other callers I know that's on hold. All right?
No doubt. I think so. I think more so when he retires, though. I wouldn't necessarily do it right now, but definitely when he retires, I'll let his career end out and give him a farewell.
Okay.
Holla at me after the show. I want to run some shit by you.
All right. That's what's up.
All right. Shout out to the chat, yo. Yo, Black, it's time. Sam, keep doing your thing.
All right. Peace, bro. Peace. What do you guys think, man? I see some things. I'm looking at the chat. Some people say yes. Some people say no. Heck, never. Hey, I mean, regardless of the way that it ended, man, I'm still up in the air. I don't know. I don't have an answer. I love Melo though. Melo is my guy. I really do. I like Melo. And I don't have an answer for you yet. I'm still thinking about it. His numbers are gonna go down. He's gonna go down as one of the top Knicks to ever play in the Garden. I don't care what anyone says. He dropped 62 at the Garden. You know what I mean? I don't know. Viv, what you think, man? What's your take on that, Viv?
Oh man, yeah, that's tough. Last number that was retired was Patrick Ewing. I don't know. I mean, how do you go on that? But you know, it's yeah, he had a rough few years with us. His last few years are kind of rough.
They
But
were.
if you just take those first, I guess, I don't know, first 3.5 seasons, I mean, he had probably good 2.5 of those three, because I think one of those was the lockout season. But does it mean his number gets retired? I mean, if you're going to retire his number, do you retire someone like Allen Houston, who was just with the Knicks the same amount of time?
But I think, I'm gonna dig in and look at the numbers, but I think Melo had some numbers that were really surpassed Allen Houston.
Oh no, he probably did. I mean, scoring wise and such. But I mean, what's the criteria to retire someone's number? Is it?
Yeah, you see, that's the thing. I don't know what is. If he was drafted here and played his whole career here up until recently, then you probably say, yeah, without a doubt, right? Because he played his whole career. The numbers he would have put up would have been crazy. He played half his career here. He played 7 years, 7 years here.
Right.
Made the playoffs, 3 times, 4 times, 3 times?
Right. He made the play with us. He made it 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah, 3 times. Which is 3 more than what I guess the team made playoffs, I think, the last 15 years before, or however, like the decade before, I guess, right? So, he did make the playoff 3 times. So that's
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true.
I mean, look, I think the whole criteria, I guess the number of years, the tenure doesn't really, that kind of going out of the conversation. No one's staying with their team that long anymore. So, that's really coming out of the question. I guess, really, do you honor just Melo by what he's done, not just scoring, but what he's done, in the community and everything else? I mean,
yeah,
you certainly have a great argument to, consider retiring it. I mean, anyone who wears that number, if they even give that number 7, I mean, this can be a hard number to even wear, just with the respect I'm sure that many people have for Melo. So
there are a lot of people that have respect for Melo.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough decision. I mean, the criteria is changing, so it's part of me wants to say yes, part of me says I'm not sure. So,
yeah, that's definite. The criteria is definitely changing because guys are changing. Like LeBron James, right? He plays in LA. Let's say he doesn't win a championship, or let's say he wins 1. Does his name go in the rafters if he plays 3 years and wins 1 championship? Or what if he plays 3 years and wins no championships? Does his number go in the rafters because he's LeBron James and what he's done over the course of his career?
I mean, the real question is, would Miami want to retire his number, or
will
should
Miami
retire his number?
Will Miami?
Yeah.
And that's a tough one. Now let's say I'm trying, look at a player like Dirk. They won 1 championship. His number will definitely, it better be in the rafters in Dallas, right?
Oh, no question.
Played his whole career there. 1 championship, only 1. Even if he didn't win a championship, his number will definitely be in the rafters. Let's say DeMar DeRozan had never been, let's say he wasn't traded from Toronto and he played his whole career, as a, all-star level player, making all-star teams or whatever it is. Without a doubt, his number would be retired in Toronto. What about Udonis Haslem? Someone like Udonis Haslem, who's played for the Heat for basically his whole career. Has given up money to help the team, acquire star players and has been a captain and all those things. I think there's something to be said for that. In my opinion, he should go in the
Nick
Raptors.
Collison, I think. Nick Collison was at the Seattle Supersonics and OKC for like 15 seasons. Do you retire his number too? I mean.
Well, yeah. I get that. But someone like Udonis Haslem, I think Udonis Haslem, maybe you do because he's a hometown guy. You know what I'm saying? He's from Miami, and he's really only wanted to play in Miami. I think something. I guess when it comes to retiring a guy's jersey for a team, I think there are different factors than just the stats. I think. You know, I think there has to be different stat when you're talking about a team. Now, when you're talking about the Hall of Fame, right? You're talking about the Hall of Fame, then, you know, I'm sure there's going to be some other things that are considered, but you should probably really focus on the stats. But I think when you're talking about a team, a local team that represents a city, you might have to look at some other things beyond just the basketball. What did they do for this city? Right? You know.
Oh, definitely. And,
you know.
I mean, Melo's undisputedly he's done a lot for the city. You know, over the last. He
has. You know, that's gonna be. We'll see how that goes, man. I'm not putting it out of the question that Melo retires a Knick. I'm not putting that out the question that Melo could retire as a New York Knick. Even if he signed like a 1 year, not a 1 year deal, a 1 day deal like Amari did. It still baffles me why Amari retired as a Knick. You know, it's not like he was a lifelong Knick or just wanted to be a New York Knick.
Right.
Phoenix wouldn't do it or whatever it was. Melo, I think, really.
I guess maybe the organization just appreciates him more.
Yeah. You know, but I think Melo, when it comes down to it, I think that he would want to retire as a New York Knick. That's what I think. I think Melo was a New York Knick fan before he became a New York Knick, you know. And I think he might want to retire as a Knick. We'll see. But, you know, sign for a day, then retire, you know, when that time comes. I'd like to see it happen because I'm a Melo fan. You know, so I would like to see Carmelo Anthony retire as a New York Knick because I am a Carmelo Anthony fan. I'm not afraid to say what I see is going on with his career, you know, and it hurts my heart because that's my dude. It hurts my heart, but, you know, so we'll see how that goes. You know what I'm saying? Ron Cleveland, man, what do you think? You think Melo his jersey should be retired at Madison Square Garden?
Oh, man. Hey, I got to go. Hey, if we gonna retire Melo jersey, man, Spreewell jersey should have been retired. That shouldn't even be a topic, really, Sam. Because I love Melo. Don't get me wrong. I love Melo, and I'm gonna give him his credit. He did something for us we hadn't seen, and I don't know how many years he won one series.
Mm-hmm.
We wasn't even, you know what I mean? I give him that.
Look,
and that's what I didn't care for. It wasn't about the team's success when we had Jeremy Lin. If it was about the team's success, we would have been better off if we would have kept Jeremy Lin in the lineup with him. But he forced the hand for the team to get rid of the coach. And you know, really, and I'm gonna go on and say this, man. No, we don't retire his jersey. I'm gonna tell you why, Sam. Because really, we keep talking about that lockout and money and all that, man. Melo had already had money. Money is a cop-out. The league was eventually going to open the door back up for them boys to play ball because it's a money-making machine. If Melo would have stayed and waited till the end of that season and came to New York at the end of the season, our team was going to be, you know who we was going to be? We was going to be Golden State, and I say this all the time. We were going to be Golden State before Golden State. Because we already had the coach in place to play that kind of offense where they were jacking up threes, and we had the shooters. We had Gallinari, we had Wilson Chandler, we had all the guys in place, man, and we didn't have to give away we still had all our draft picks, and we had money. But Melo forced that hand, and I don't feel sorry for him or what happened in New York, because anytime, think about how he gutted that roster to get him. When you gut a roster like that to get rid of a player, you better have players in place, or you're not going to be winning for a long time.
But see, I disagree. I have to disagree with you on that, Ron, because I'm thinking of in the mindset. One, if I'm Carmelo Anthony, I do the same exact thing because I do not looking at the situation.
Same situation that his was in.
But look, looking at the situation, I don't know what's happening with the collective bargaining agreement coming.
Eventually, the
right?
boys is gonna get paid. It's all about money. Eventually,
Right, but you didn't know. You know, he had a chance. He had a chance to get a certain amount of money with his contract. You didn't know what that collective bargaining agreement was. How the salary cap was going to go. Was it going to be less? Was it going to be more? I would have got my money.
Think about this, Sam. See, what they say? All money ain't good money. All money ain't good money. And think about this, Sam. Think about this. All money ain't good money. Remember when they formed that big three down there in Miami?
Yeah.
Chris Bosh was not supposed to be in that deal. It was supposed to be Melo. Melo was supposed to be the man instead of Chris Bosh. Melo took them extra years and got stuck in that contract when LeBron told him not to sign that long-term deal with Denver. And he signed that deal. So I didn't feel sorry for Melo. Melo had the money.
I mean, I get that.
When they cut us, man, them boy,
look, I get that.
For a long time, man.
Look, I understand all of that, right? But as a player, it's just like if you have a job right now and you're getting ready to move to another job, and there's going to be a collective bargaining agreement, you're going to be like, I'm gonna get my money. Because I don't know what's about to happen. I'm gonna get my money.
If I already got money, I'm good. I'll wait till I get a good deal.
I don't know, Ron, because when you're talking about, but look,
sometimes the best thing to do is to sit put.
Yeah, but listen. When you're talking about, even just because someone is making $30-40 million doesn't mean that they still don't want their money. I don't think the amount of money really has to matter. I think, and then you got to look at the Knicks though. Right? You can't blame Melo for going and getting his money. The Knicks didn't have to do the deal.
You're right. And it wasn't the Knicks. It was Dolan. Dolan did that. Donnie Walsh everybody in the league knew Melo was coming to New York. Donnie Walsh said, hey, we're not going to give away nothing. Why you give away something when you know the man leaving anyway?
I mean, I agree. I agree, but I don't think.
From two dumb franchises at the time on how they ran business. With the Nets, look how the Nets suffering right now from what Billy King did.
Yeah, but I just don't agree that I think when you're a player, it's only a certain amount of time that you're going to be able to make money.
Well, I'm gonna
right, and you're going to
ultimately, it was the Knicks' decision to bring him there.
Yeah,
Melo still could have said, "Hey, looked at the landscape and said, hey, don't gut the team because what are we going to do once I get there?"
See, I just can't.
We just now recovering from that same thing.
But that's not Melo's fault. That's the Knicks' fault. That's not Melo's fault. Because listen, hold up. Because look at DeMar DeRozan. Look at Isaiah Thomas. Right? The teams, what are they gonna do? They're gonna do what's best for the team, which they're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? The teams are gonna do what's best for the teams. You know what I'm saying? Players got to do what's best for themselves and their family as well. Like,
I hear you.
And they're trying to set themselves up for generational wealth, which they should be doing.
You don't think he should have waited and come to a stacked team?
No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't. I believe that. I as a Knicks fan, that's what I would have wanted. But looking at it from a business standpoint on both sides. Looking at it from a business standpoint on both sides, the players need to get their money and the teams need to do what's best for the teams. I never fault a player for getting their money.
I can take that argument. Guess what? If you just coming into the league, you just came from poverty and you got money and you getting your first contract. But if you got a big bag, you done got that big bag and you got the endorsement because you had the Jordan deal. Hey, I would tell them, hey, y'all wait. The collective bargaining agreement gonna work itself out. I don't know how much the money gonna be, but guess what? I'm not gonna be poor like the average man on the side of the street that got a hustle.
No, they're not. They're not. But
that's why he should have waited.
Yeah, but I don't think it's not for him to control what's on the other team. To me, it's not for. It wasn't for Melo played for the Denver Nuggets. It wasn't for him to control what was on the other team. It was up to the Knicks.
Is the reason why he ain't got no ring. Both ways, because he got New York. He got New York to come here, and then he wasn't smart enough to listen to LeBron when he was supposed to be the big three, a part of that big three to get at least 2 championships. So he can blame himself. Bad decisions, man. Once again, I'm gonna tell you. Bad decision by him. You know,
to me, I don't know. To me, it depends on,
because he's gonna struggle in Houston. His career gonna be over in Houston.
See, to me, it depends. It depends on what is the player's priorities, right? If a player's priority is to gain monetary wealth, I don't have a problem with it. You know, I want players that want to win championships. I want players that want to go out and get it. But we also have to understand that it is a business for these players. They're making money, right? They want to, they want that generational wealth. And if the basketball, but if basketball is their way,
why Boston good right now and still eating steak?
Yeah, but what I'm saying though, but I mean,
Billy King did. God, Danny Ainge looking like a super GM, but you could have been the GM and signed that paperwork for that.
Right. Hey Ron, I get that. I get all that. But what I'm saying is, players have no. But listen. Hold up. Players got to take care of themselves. Players can't look out for the team.
Man,
the team has to look out for the team. It is a business, and these players are there to make money, just like the owners and the teams are making money.
The man was not broke.
It don't matter. Neither are the owners.
Hey, and guess what?
The owners aren't broke either.
Hey, Melo,
so why should
get retired out of
look? If I'm a player, these owners. If these owners have enough money to pay me $150 million for 5 years, how much money do you think they're making? Why am I, as a player, going to take a pay cut to make this man more money? I'm going to take a pay cut so that James Dolan can make more money? No, I'm not.
That ain't the question. It's about calculated moves. Calculated moves, and it cost himself 2 ways. He wanted to get to New York so bad, he didn't think. He didn't think of the ramifications of forcing that trade.
But the thing is, he didn't have to be the one that thinks. The Knicks had to be the one that thought, not Melo. Melo had to do what was right for him and his family. The Knicks had to do what was right for the Knicks.
You know that relationship between him and George Karl at that time was toxic. He was going to get out of Denver one way or the other. That thing, it was fractured. That thing was fractured so bad, he was going to get out of there, and he almost went to the Knicks. You remember that?
Yeah. Well, let's see. I'm gonna get. Let me get Isaiah on the call, because I got Isaiah on hold. All right.
Man, hey, you put Melo jersey in the trash can. In the trash can.
You gonna put it in the trash can because he got his money.
We had more drama with Melo, man. Hey. Melo is a soap opera.
let me get to this call, man.
My blood pressure up, man. I still love you, though, sir, man. I still love you, man.
I love you too, man. I love you too. Hey, Isaiah, what's poppin', man?
Hey, man, I thought you was arguing with who's Mark.
Nah, that was me and Ron. I mean, we wasn't arguing or fighting. We just having a good conversation.
I know, man. Yo, I can't. Man, I was trying to get on Pier, but my Pier is bugging out tonight, so I called in. But what's up to the chat? I seen Rod Cleveland. He looked, that's my guy right there, man. Tell him I said that's my guy. Black is time. And I know what we're talking about. I know we're talking about Melo and the whole retirement. I read the article today, too, so.
Daily Knicks. Matter of fact, that's and let me give a shout out to Daily Knicks, because I seen it on there and I did read the article and everything. So, I figured it'd be a good conversation to talk about. So big shout out to Daily Knicks.
Man? It was interesting, and here's my thing. We gotta get 30 on the Raptors first.
You gotta what?
The Knicks, we gotta get Bernard King. I feel like we need to get Bernard King on the Raptors.
I thought you said Raptors. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I hear you.
We need to get Bernard King in. We need to get Bernard King in there, man.
Mm-hmm.
But Melo, no. I'm sorry. No. You didn't do nothing.
Okay. Hey, you know what? Yeah, I can get with that. I can get with that. You know, you're just saying, you know, he didn't do enough.
Yeah, because I read the article, and honestly, man, Sim, it was just that we had one good season, everything else was motor. We had one good season, everything else was motor. Oh my God, I'm losing my word. It was crap seasons and bad seasons. Mediocre. It was mediocre seasons and bad seasons. Now, I think I understood what Ron was trying to say. Now, let me say something. That Melo trade, listen, man, I wholeheartedly believe this. If we never traded for Melo, I do believe the Knicks would have won a championship by now.
I don't think so.
I wholeheartedly believe that.
I don't think so.
But look, Sim. We wait for Melo. We flip Danilo Gallinari. We're gonna flip him.
Right, but what is
we're either
Gallo?
Gonna flip him. We're gonna either flip him or flip Wilson Chandler.
What are we gonna flip him for?
Something.
Look what Gallo and Wilson Chandler ended up doing.
I mean, that's now, but Gallo they were good back then.
But what I'm saying is that's what would have happened to Gallo. He wouldn't have been able to stay on the floor.
Yeah, but that wouldn't have been our problem, though.
No, you're saying. Oh, you said we would have flipped him. Flipped him for what? That's what we did. We flipped him for Melo.
I mean, but no, I'm saying we would have never did the trade. We would have flipped Danilo because we would have had two small forwards. We wouldn't need them.
We would have flipped them
either get some picks or a player that we need. We get Chris Paul. We don't do none
Chris
of that
Paul wouldn't have came if Melo.
Or we embassy Amari, and then we good. We Gucci.
Chris Paul wouldn't have came. He wouldn't have came if Melo wasn't here. Chris Paul. Who was Chris Paul going to come to? Danilo Gallinari?
No, Melo would have been here. You hear me? Melo would have been here because we would have waited, and Melo would have came to the Knicks.
Okay. But see, if we would have waited, right? If we would have waited, that's the key word. If we would have waited, not Melo. If we would have waited,
we would have waited and never jumped the gun. We would have won a championship by now because we would have had the piece.
I see what you're saying. My bad. I hear what you're saying. So if we would have waited, signed Melo in the offseason for free agency, right? And then been able to trade Gallinari for something or maybe have – I get that. Okay, I get that. I don't know if we would have had a championship, but we would have been – maybe we would have been contenders or something like that. But, yeah, Amari, you know, kind of flamed out with his knees and his back and everything.
We would have embassied him.
But my you know, my argument with Ron was, you know, he was like, no, Melo shouldn't have his name in it, his jersey in the rafters because he took the money instead of waiting. And my argument is that it wasn't up to Melo to wait. It was up to Melo to get his money. That's what you do because your time is limited as a player. Think about it. You're going to play till you're 37, 38 years old, maybe, right? Maybe some people play a little bit older.
If you're lucky.
Right, if you're lucky, right? Maybe some people play until they're older. Then you're going to retire. You got another 45 years to live. Yeah, maybe you did make $100 million, but you know what? When you make $100 million in the NBA, 50% of that is gone.
You live a certain lifestyle.
You live a certain lifestyle, but 50% of that is gone, right? And listen, it's still a lot of money. I get that. I know. It's still a lot of money, right? You make $100 million. Your contract is $100 million. You're really only going to get 50 of it because you pay tax in every city that you go to. Every city that you go and play in, you got to pay tax, right? So you're going to get 50 million of it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm getting my money because I want to set my family up for generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? I want to set my family up. So I'm getting as much money as I can possibly get while I have the ability to get it. And if that means, hold up. And if that means that I have to hamstring this team to get the money, I'm going to get the money. Will I do what I can? Yeah, I'll do what I can. But in that situation, I think Melo did the right thing because they were going into a collective bargaining agreement. He didn't know what was coming next. His agents didn't know what was coming next. You got to get your money. So then that way your money is guaranteed with whatever happens in the collective bargaining agreement. Your money is guaranteed. And then you deal with the consequences later. You know what I'm saying?
So, you know what my biggest problem with it was, though, with Melo? And I am 110% with get your money, because we all know this ain't going to last forever, and you got to do what's best for you. I agree with that. But and this is the knock on Melo, and this is what's really I'm going to do 2 points. I'm going to show you this point. The point of why Melo got his money is the point of what happened with D Wade in Miami. I'll say that's probably one of the best examples I can say.
Yeah, exactly.
D-Wade took pay cut after pay cut, and then when it was his time to get paid, Pat Riley was like, "You're too old."
You're too old. Exactly.
They had a falling out. So I agree with that. Get your money as much as you can while you can.
Yep.
I agree with that.
Yep. They had a falling out. They had a falling out in Miami, and Pat Riley did what was best for who? The team. Dwayne Wade did what was best for who? The team, right? He did what was best for the team. And when it came time for the team to do Dwayne Wade right, they did him wrong. And you can say, well, he won 2 championships out of it. Cool. That's good. But them 2 championships ain't getting his maybe $50 million that he could have had, or whatever it was. I don't know. Probably not that much that he gave up.
It was like $50 million because he took some pay cuts.
You know what I'm saying? When you look at it bigger than basketball and not from a fan standpoint, you know what I'm saying? When you look at it bigger than basketball, would you rather have 25, 30 million or ring? It depends on it depends on it depends on what you value. And I don't think it's up to another man to say that what another person values is wrong. You know, if it's not something that's immoral, and this is basketball we're talking about, it's not immoral. You know what I mean? So, how can we look and say, well, it was wrong for him to not help out his team? It's not wrong. He's getting his money. You know what I'm saying? You help out your team. You take a pay cut so that the owner can make more money. Basically. D. Grant says Melo is not starving. True, Melo's not starving, but neither are the owners. So an owner is going to ask Melo or D. Wade or LeBron or KP or whoever it is to take a pay cut, but the owner's not taking a pay cut. And you can say, well, the owner's going to pay the luxury tax. They're paying the luxury tax because those players are bringing in money way that blows the luxury tax out the water. That's why they're willing to pay the luxury tax, because they know, James Dolan knows that what KP is going to bring in merchandise and fans coming to the stadium, buying food, buying tickets, what he's going to bring in from KP just being on a team is worth way more than the luxury tax that he'll pay. But you're going to ask KP to take a pay cut, or Melo, or Chris Paul, or Dwayne Wade? We expect them to take a pay cut so that the owners can continue to make money? No, that's not right. It don't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? Right, but as fans, we want them to take a pay cut because we want the team to do well. But we're not looking at it from their point of view or from a business point of view. We got to look at it from a business point of view on both sides, right? It is smart for the team to try to get a player to take less money. That's what they should do. Right? Because that's how they can maximize their profits. And whether or not we want to admit it, right? The team wants to maximize their profits, because even if you say, the team can sit and they can say, well, we need to take a pay cut so that we can get these players so that we can win a championship. When they win a championship, the team benefits. The team makes money. The owners make money. The players might make some money. Your big time players might make some money, right? But the team makes the most money. These guys are billionaires. And they understand that if they win championships, if they have a good team, they're going to make billions more. They're paying these players, hundreds of millions of dollars. They are making billions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? We can't expect players to take pay cuts. Or if they want to take a pay cut, they can. Right? That's on them. Good for them. But I don't think a player should be killed for not taking a pay cut, for getting his money or her money in the WNBA, whatever you want to say, right? They shouldn't. That's what they should do. That's what they're supposed to do. That's a smart businessman or businesswoman. They should be shrewd about their money. My bad. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah.
That's all right, man. But you know, my main thing, and like I said, I agree with you, man, a lot. My main thing with Melo, though, man, was the fact that how can I put this? And again, I'm trying to put this in the right way about it's just about when the Knicks had opportunities to do certain things. To me, that made the team better. And I think Melo was still at a point where he was going to get another big contract, and I felt like there were opportunities for us to sign certain players. And you know, if Melo would have if they would have just played with the money a little bit and just kind of take care of him like how they take care of Dirk, or like how the Lakers did Kobe his last couple of years. I think it would have been a situation I'm talking like that, where I think people get up with Melo being taking the money. I think that's the best way I can say it. Is that when we had opportunities to get certain players, and if we had the cap room to do it, it was just certain situations where I think Melo and them could have came to an agreement about certain things and get the money so we could get these players. Because my thing about it was that I think, what really used to bother me is that for them Melo years, we had mediocre teams with mediocre players. There's a reason why Melo played with 80 players, because they were mediocre and they weren't as good as we needed them to be to take it to the next level. And it was just, I feel like we needed certain players, and we just couldn't get it because we didn't have the money. We were tied up with 3 or 4 players that were all out of position, all couldn't do what they needed. They all literally needed to shift down to play the right position, and we just didn't. We just didn't. I don't know why we didn't realize that.
And that's the team's fault, though. That's the team's fault. In my opinion, that's the team's fault.
And that is the team's fault. And it's just, like I said, it's not 100% the team's fault. I mean, it could be.
It's 100% the team's fault. They cut the check. It's 100% the team's fault. They make the decision. Melo couldn't make that decision to trade himself. Right? They had to make that decision. Whether or not James Dolan told Donnie Walsh to make the trade, force the trade, whatever it is, it comes down to the team. But hey, let me get to a couple of these super chats. All right, Isaiah.
Yeah.
Big shout out. Who we got? Blessed Lover said, New York Knicks forever. Send me your NBK assembly is the truth. Frank is our point guard, period. Most qualified easily. Big shout out, Blessed Lover. Thank you for the support, bro.
That's true facts about Frank.
Yeah. And CP the artist brought up a fact about Melo. 7th all-time Knicks scorer. Does that get him there? I don't know. Ballhead Slick.
No.
Ballhead Slick. Thank you for the super chat. It said retire Scott Perry's jersey before moving for moving Melo's contract. Good one. And Mike Murphy, thank you for the super chat. You said Knicks for life. # Knicks way. Yeah. But that's definitely that's a topic to be discussed another day.
I will say this, though. I appreciate Scott Perry, and I thank the Thunder for doing an old Knicks move of taking that contract. I will give Scott Perry, if he doesn't do anything else, he got rid of that Melo contract. I'll give him that.
All right. Well, hey, Isaiah, man, I'm going to let you rock because I know I got some other people that want to call in. Thank you for...
yes, sir. Please, don't let it be Who's Mark, because I feel like that would be a long conversation.
I don't know what Who's Mark is. I don't know what's up. I don't know.
All right, man. Be good, man.
All right, man. All right, peace. Let's get back to the. Hey, that's passionate for me, man, because I'm a business guy. You know what I mean? I'm a business guy, and I believe money can be limited in this world. You know what I mean? Money can be limited, and it is what it is. Tony Crow, man, what's up, man? You back in the chat? Tony, you there? I can't hear you, bro. I don't know. Maybe Tony's not there. Can't hear him. But anyway, we're going to move on to the next topic. We're going to get into, can the Fizz kids contend? That's what I want to know. The group as presently constructed. Frank Ntilikina, Kristaps Porzingis, Kevin Knox, Mitchell Robinson, I guess Tim Hardaway. Can they contend? That's what I want to know. Not now, obviously, not now. You know what I mean? They got to grow a little bit. They got to build. But can they contend sometime in the future? If you just stuck with this group, you know, of course you're going to add some pieces here and there, but as a core, as a nucleus, is that a nucleus that can contend sometime in the future? So Ron Cleveland, Ron, my man Ron, I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna open it up so we can talk about can the Fizz kids contend some point in the future? What you think, man?
Hey, man, Sim. Hey, I think they can, and for obvious reasons. When you're a team that nobody really knows nothing about, you got the element of surprise, man. You know what I mean? So in that case, we're gonna surprise some teams, and then on top of the fact the East is wide open, man. LeBron did everybody in the East a big favor by going out west. So the only team you really got to worry about in the East is Boston. You got to worry about Toronto. You got to worry about, let's see, Milwaukee. There's going to be 5 slots open.
Okay.
There's only going to be 3 teams you're really going to have to worry about in the East.
Right. And I'm not talking about right now. You know, I'm talking 3 years down the line.
Just be relevant. I think we'll be relevant this year.
Okay.
Even if we don't
this year, think we'll be relevant this year without KP?
I'll be happy with them playing tough defense, not letting people shoot wide open threes like we've been seeing with Jeff Hornacek. That flash of a coaching style he was doing. As long as we can have them boys playing great defense, you're going to win a lot more games because of defense than you will because of the offense. Look how Boston blueprint was, man. They weren't great offensively, but defensively, it looked like it was 6 players on the court at all times. Looked like they had an extra man because they was able to play defense.
Yeah. Okay. And hey, Ken, what do you think about it, man? Do you think with this young group, right? Do you think 4 years down the line, this group as presently constructed, the nucleus I'm talking about. I'm not talking about some of the other pieces that you're gonna move in and out. I'm talking about this nucleus. Frank, Kevin Knox, KP, Mitchell Robinson. Is that a nucleus that a couple years could contend, at least in the East?
I do believe so. I like I said, I really like Frank because this young man's been groomed to control things. I listened to a video about how coach is trying to get him to understand about controlling the game. We're going to play positionless basketball where this young kid at 20 years of age can knock down the 3. You see he's getting a handle. We've got a young boy named Knox that you give him 2 more years and 25 more pounds. And, you know, I heard somebody mention, you know, we need a king, a Bernard King. Well, Lord, I hope so. That's all I can say. Lord, I hope so. So now we get this kid Knox a la Bernard King. We got a 7'4" boy from Lafayette who can drain threes like you turn on a water faucet. And looks like we got a Mr. Robinson and swatch balls out of this world. I can't wait to see what's going on.
Okay.
You know, it's exciting, and we're young. We need to stay young. We don't need any 28-year-olds, 29-year-olds, and things like that. We need to stay exactly where we're at, and in 3 to 5, the New York Knicks will stand with that trophy, from my mouth to God's ear.
Okay. I hear you. Let's see what Nate Dogg's got to say. Nate, what you think,
what's going
man?
on, Nate?
I'm chilling, man. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. I'm just listening to all these people talk about the Knicks, man. I'm loving it.
Yeah. It's been great, and we've been having some heated debates here in the chat.
Yeah, I've been hearing them. I've been like, man, I want to get on it.
Yeah, we've been, Ron's about to go take his blood pressure medicine because he's mad at me. Everybody else in the chat, they mad at me because they talk about KP.
If you're not an aggravated Knicks fan, you're not a Knicks fan.
Yeah, right, exactly. Tell me about it. So what do you think? Do you think that this team, this nucleus as presently constructed, would be able to contend for a championship in a couple of years?
I honestly do think so. I mean, let's be real. We're going to have to go out and get a player like get a player like KD or get a player like Kyrie to make this a contender. But
do you think that KP or Kevin Knox can become KD?
Oh, absolutely.
Or AD.
I honestly think that people are so enamored with KP. I think Knox has the potential to possibly be even better than KP.
Oh,
I mean, because you look at his stat line, he scored 21 points in summer league. He shot horrible. He was like 37%, 35%. I mean, this guy, and the shots weren't bad. I mean, he barely missed them. And so I saw a lot of a young KD in him, and I think this guy's got all-star potential. I really do, and I tell you what, we have the right coaches in place to develop this young core, and I think that's the first time in a long time the Knicks have had coaches that can do that. You look at all the coaches that Fizdale brought on, Smart, see the other guys. Teacher. Yeah. Royal Ivy. Those are guys that have been known to develop players. And you've got a lot of young core players. And I tell you what, man, if the Knicks can be smart and go out and get a guy like a KD or Kyrie, you're going to have to get somebody like that's going to have to run with this squad. Because you need – right now, I mean, we're hoping KP comes back fully healthy. But just in case, you need to have that insurance. I think Knox is going to be solid. Ntilikina is going to be better next year. Mitchell Robinson, to me, is probably the most interesting player. I mean, I think he's going to take a lot of minutes away from Kanter because just the fact that he can play defense and he can run like a deer and he can block shots.
Oh yeah, I think he's definitely going to take some minutes away. I don't know. He can block shots. I think that he's going to be better in the pick and roll defense than Kanter was.
Well, if you look at the Knicks, if you look at the Knicks school video, they said that KP and Robinson are two guys that can actually guard on the perimeter. You need guys like that. Kanter can't do that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Kanter can't do that. Kanter has problems guarding on the perimeter. I think that, but I still think that Knox is going to need some time to grow into his body before he's a full-time starter. Yeah, I think you can look at him.
19. I mean, he averaged 21 in summer league. I mean, this guy's going to be really good. You're
talking about Mitchell Robinson?
Knox. I'm talking about Knox. I mean, this guy's got all-star potential.
Knox has.
He reminds me of a young KD. He really does.
Knox has all-star potential without a doubt. But Mitchell Robinson, I think he's going to need a little bit more time to build his body and build his strength before he's a full-time starter.
Sim, you can't coach defense sometimes.
Right.
And you can't coach effort.
Exactly. I agree.
And Robinson has that. And I think he might not start, but he's gonna come off the bench and he's gonna play a lot of big minutes, especially in the fourth quarter when we know Kanter usually sits on the bench half the time.
I agree with you. I'm so excited about Kevin Knox, man.
Yeah, man.
I just can't wait. I can't wait to get into get the league started. Then we can come back and have this KP and Kevin Knox debate again. You know what I'm saying? I know some people are going to want to have this KP and Kevin Knox
I think he could be Rookie of the Year. I mean, it's going to be a tough battle because you got guys like Young, you got Sexton, you got a lot of good young players that are going to compete with Knox for the Rookie of the Year. But I think he's got a great chance because he's going to get plenty of shots, plenty of opportunities, plenty of minutes. And like I said, the guy's got a good shot. I mean, he just missed a lot of shots in Summer League.
He's going to have the opportunity.
21 points.
And looking at the Knicks, looking at the Knicks roster and everything, he's gonna have the opportunities to score.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, who else can score on the Knicks right now? I mean, on their own. I mean, I mean, that's why you need Frank to be more of a point guard because you've got a lot of guys that can't create their own shot. Knox is probably the one player that can actually do it. He can break you off the dribble. He can take it to the lane. I mean, he can shoot the three. I mean, he's got the all-around game. He even played good defense too in the Summer League.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be
Mario's gonna be fun too. I agree with that. I like his game a lot, and I think he's gonna be a good stretch four at some points.
Yep. Yeah, and I forget. Sometimes I forget about Mario Hezonja. That's one of the reasons why I really want to talk about him today. So, we got an interesting team. Fizdale,
we got a lot of young players. A lot of young players. It's going to be fun to watch because, like I said, Fizdale's going to throw a lot of lineups out there that we're going to be scratching our head being like, what are you doing? But, hey, trust the process. It'll work.
Yeah, he's got some ingredients. Definitely has some ingredients, see what he can mix up and stew up. You know what I mean? And, yeah. So, that's what I'm definitely excited about it. You know what I mean? So I got Tony Crow up here. I know Tony Crow wants to get a word in. It's about 12:33. We've been on for about 2 hours. I got about 9 minutes left before I run up out of here. But it's been a good debate. You know what I'm saying? My man Ron Cleveland's blood is boiling. Tony Crow, what's popping, bro?
All right, you can hear me, Sid?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
I just had to call in and let Ron Cleveland know. Well, you pretty much covered it while I was getting on. It's basically all on the Knicks. Like they're the ones that made the decision. They pulled the trade off. It was he's on another team. He can't negotiate who should stay on the team that he's going to. And like obviously we gave up too much, but you can't hold him accountable. And the mistakes that went down. Basically, the organization, you can't hold him accountable for pretty much anything. He got offered the contract. They offered it to him. Obviously, they re-signed him.
Break.
Like everything.
You're breaking up on me, man. You're breaking up.
They went for it.
Yeah.
It's not Melo's fault. And a lot of people forget what he did for the city just being here, And the last few years was
Amari was here first.
But he was a
Yeah. Hey, Tony, you froze up on me, man. You froze up. But look, man, it is late. I got a couple more calls left in me. 516-405-2246. What do I think about this young team? I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna hold off judgment on whether or not they can be a contender. I think Knox can definitely be an all-star. KP is gonna be an all-star.
Hey man, it's a good day to be a Knick, like you said.
Yeah. We got to see what Frank's development is going to be. Is Frank going to, be that point guard that can distribute the ball, or lead guard, whatever you want to say, that can distribute the ball and, find people in their spots. Of course, we know he's going to be able to play defense. And then can he pull it together just a little bit offensively, average 10, 12 points a game? And can he penetrate and kick? Can he learn to penetrate and kick? I'm not sure he's going to be able to do it, Frank, because that's just not his style of play. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but that's not his style of play. Frank is not the type of guard that's just going to break down the defense off the dribble. I don't see it with Frank. Maybe he learns it. I hope that he learns it. But I think we can let Frank be Frank and let him learn how to get along in the NBA the way that he does. You don't have to be that kind of a guard. And I don't think you have to be the lightning quick kind of guy that's going to just explode to the basket in order to be a penetrating dish. I think you can methodically get to the basket, methodically penetrate the lane, and kick out. I do think that's possible. So, we got to see what Frank's development is going to be like. And then, of course, Mitchell Robinson. Although we're excited about Mitchell Robinson, there's still some unknowns about him and how he's going to adjust to the NBA game. The size, the speed, the strength, all those things, are going to play a role. So we've still got to see, can he adjust to that? The guys that he played with in Summer League, those are guys that he's played with before. He knew he was going to be able to go out and ball because he played against those guys all throughout high school, played against those guys in the McDonald's All-American game. So he knew.
About Moutier.
You know what I'm saying? So he knew that he was going to be able to come out and, he knew that he was going to be able to come out and ball with those guys. It's going to be a different story stepping into the league. You know what I mean? It's going to be a different story stepping into the league. I'm not doubting that he can do it, but so we still got to see. The talent is there. It's clearly there. The talent is there. Can it be developed the right way? We'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see how that goes. So this is what I'm gonna do, guys. That's in the video chat, man. I'm gonna give you guys like 30 seconds, to go ahead and get a last word in, and then I'm gonna log off. You know what I mean? I think this has been a pretty good stream, pretty good show tonight. We had some fireworks a little bit, but a pretty good show. So I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and get. Kane, I'm gonna start with you, man.
Oh, well, first thing I'm gonna do is ask you, is Carmelo paying any of your bills?
I wish he was.
No, I'm just playing.
I wish he was paying some of my bills, man.
But no, look, great show tonight. Glad I got a chance to, chat with everybody. Glad to see Ron and Tony and the friends you. But the Knicks need to stick with the script. Yeah, we're young. I'm not so interested in picking up Kyrie. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Okay.
I hear a lot of people talk about Kyrie. Pick somebody else. I don't care who. Just don't take Kyrie. He had his chance to come here last year. But anyway, stick with the script. Let these young boys play. We should get a third or fourth round draft pick next year. Knox develops like we think he should. As my man said, the boy was coming off scoring 21 points a game. The kid got potential. So let's lay low. If KP, we don't need to see KP come back this year. It's irrelevant because it's all about what's happening the following year. With that, I'm out.
All right. Ken, appreciate it, man. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Peace,
baby. Been a pleasure. Peace. Ron Cleveland, you up next, my man. You up next. 1 second. There we go. Here we go. Ron.
Hey, you can hear me?
Yep.
Hey, Sam.
Yeah.
You can hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
All right. Hey, you can mark this date down in history. Your boy Frank will be the most improved player.
Okay.
He will be most improved player. The only thing he got to work on is that offensive game. If he can get you 12 to 15 points a game with that defense, he's going to be a candidate for most improved player. You can pretty much book that one. KP, I was trying to figure out why KP is doing all these videos, and it dawned on me. He's doing that to let these potential free agents know 2019, hey, I'm healthy, I'm back, even before he comes and play a game in the Garden after this injury. Because what I'm seeing on them videos, he look healthy to me. I don't see no hiccups with the knee. So, hey, he's going to be gravy coming back. Hey, I say let them young boys run. Hey, the trash heat, we got a trash can out back Madison Square Garden. We can put Baker in there. And we can put Moutier in there and let them boys get out of here, man. And do right by Contender Lee. And that's what I got to say, man. Much love to the chat, Tony Crow, French Unicorn. Hey, y'all boys, man. Hey, stay up. The Knicks. We are back.
There we go. Hey, Ron. Hey, I hope you video chat in again, man.
Hey, I'm coming back. Tim, you need to stop talking about Melo like that, man. Hey, I love Melo, man. I appreciate Melo, but we can't retire his Sprewell jersey, man. You can't do that. Sprewell did more than Melo, man.
He made it to the championship. Made it to the championship. I give you that.
Yeah,
made it to the championship.
Sprewell jersey, man. Hey, get a campaign for that. Tell Dolan to tie that jersey.
All right, Ron. Appreciate the call, man.
All right.
All right, have a good one. All right, peace. All right. Oh. Ron's still there. There we go. Let me see. Nate Dogg, you just got here, so I'm gonna go with French Unicorn. You just got here. French, man, what's up?
Chilling, man. My ending notes. No way I'm retiring Melo's jersey.
Okay.
Not because I hate Melo or anything, but what has he done to deserve retiring his jersey as a Knick? I'm not saying he didn't score. He scored, but he isn't that player, I don't think. I think you got to earn that, and I don't think he did that. Then the other thing is, I think Frank's going to be okay. I think people are rushing him to be... Nobody at 19 was ready. I mean, besides LeBron. Even Kobe wasn't ready at 19. So I think be easy with that. And I like where we're going.
All right.
And I end on that. And, yo, shout out to Tony Crow, Ron Cleveland, Marty, all the guys, Nate Dogg. You guys have a good night. We'll do it again.
All right, man. Have a good one, man. Peace. All right, Tony Crow, I got you, man.
All right, man. I just gonna say shout out to the chat. Like always, let's keep moving this thing forward. Yo, Black, it's time. Sim, hit me up after the show in the morning. I got to chat up with you.
All right, no doubt. I got you.
All right.
All right, peace, man. Later. Nate Dogg, it's on you, bro.
Save the best for last, right?
There it is.
Oh, man. First off, shout out to the chat. Sims, always a pleasure talking to you and the Knicks fans out there. You know, man, we just got to trust the process. I mean, we got a young squad that a lot of questions, you know, we still want to see answered, but the potential's there, the excitement's there. I mean, most Knicks fans nowadays are optimistic instead of pessimistic. And, you know, it's very important that we develop these young players. And like I said, in 2019, when we'll have some money, we definitely need to spend it wisely. You know, if they want to go out and get a KD, hey, you know, with a up and coming Knox and a improved Ntilikina and a healthy KP, I mean, KD looks at that and says, hey, maybe why not? You know, let's run New York. You know, I mean, they'll be in the Eastern Conference, and you know, it's gonna be a dogfight. But I think if they can land a big time player along with these young guys, I mean, hey man, sky's the limit.
All right, man. All right, appreciate the call, Nate Dogg.
Take it easy, man.
Have a good one.
Good night.
You too.
Bye.
I thank you guys, man. Thank you guys. I thank everybody for the super chats. You know what I'm saying? You guys definitely hooked me up with the super chats. I appreciate it. Just a couple of reminders. Once the stream is up on YouTube, make as many comments as possible. Share it with as many people as possible. Every share, every comment for new fans who haven't subbed. Sub, and once you sub, then you'll be able. I'm gonna put your name in for to win a free Kevin Knox rookie card. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't, so go ahead and sub the show. Get entered in the contest for Kevin Knox rookie card, and I'm gonna announce the winner on Sunday night at 10:30. And I had a caller on call. I just had you on. I apologize I didn't get to you. Call back. I'll make sure I get to you next time. I definitely apologize for that. But so I do want to announce that win yourself a Kevin Knox rookie card. Okay, share it. Sub if you haven't subbed. Retweet it or tweet it. Comment. As many comments as possible. Also want to announce we have me, the entertainer. We're going to get Tony Crow involved. We have a New York sports channel coming very soon. So be on the lookout for it. Me and the entertainer got a pilot show that we're working on that we plan to have uploaded, put out to you guys very soon. You know what I mean? So be on the lookout for that. My man that said he made the beats, make sure you hit me up. All right, definitely hit me up. That was Kareem Adolphus, and hit me up, Kareem. Got a couple of more super chats I want to shout out. Romeo Dread, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Uptown Swan, thank you for the super chat. Definitely appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? You guys have been great tonight. Just talking to you guys in the chat and everything. And be on the lookout. A Knicks fan's memoir. Be on the lookout for it. You know, and use the hashtag. If you got a story, use the hashtag. Hashtag a Knicks fan's memoir. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be pretty dope, and I think you guys are going to like it. You know what I mean? When the series comes out, I'll probably have about 3 or 4 episodes within the series. You know what I'm saying? Killer Beats, you say you make beats also? Well, let's talk. You know what I mean? Let's talk, because when I do this, when I do these episodes, a Knicks fan's memoir, when I do these episodes, you know, it might be a couple of different beats that I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, let's talk. You know, you can hit me up. I'll set my email up right here. You can hit me up here. You know what I'm saying? Send me some beats or whatever it is. And even if I don't use it in that, you know what I mean? Sometimes I'm trying to, you know, pretty soon I'm going to have some background beats throughout the show, throughout the podcast. You know what I mean? You know, you send me some beats and, you know, I'll play them and get your name up there. You know what I'm saying? Give you the credit for it without a doubt. I mean, so, listen, I'm out for the night. You know what I mean? Sunday, 10:30, I'll be back on. I'll announce the winner of the Kevin Knox rookie card. And I'll be doing a couple of those contests or something like that. You know, I like doing rookie cards because, you know, they have the possibility of gaining more value in the future. You know what I'm saying? So it helps you, it helps me, it helps everybody. All right. Weekend is upon us. You guys have a good weekend. You know what I'm saying? Have a good weekend. Tomorrow's Friday. Enjoy your Friday. Go to work. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your Saturday. Come back on Sunday, and we're going to chop it up, talk about the New York Knicks. I'm out. I love y'all, man. Let's rock. If you enjoyed this stream, please subscribe. Ring the bell. Get a notification anytime that I go live. Remember, leave comments in the comment section. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Enter yourself into a chance. Enter yourself into a contest to win a Kevin Knox rookie card. Just by leaving a comment. Just by subscribing. Just by sharing on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Peace.